What's happening, guys? Cooper Carter here for G66, and on this week's Fractal Friday, I'm going to show you a quick method for adjusting the rate of various effects with a pedal in a way that's natural and dynamic. One of my absolute favorite things about Fractal audio units is that they are these razor-sharp, cutting-edge, pristine digital powerhouses. But all of that horsepower gives us the ability to seamlessly and beautifully recreate the imprecisions of analog gear. One of my favorite examples of this comes in the Rotary Block. Now, as always, this is a quick video, but if you guys want to get the absolute most out of your Fractal unit, whether that's the Axfex 3, the FM9, or the FM3, make sure to visit classes.coopercarter.com for my complete Fractal Audio Masterclass series. The Rotary Block, of course, is designed to recreate the sound of the classic Leslie speaker cabinet, which has two separate rotating parts: the horn, which translates the upper register frequencies, and the drum, which is basically a rotating subwoofer. One of the signature sounds of the Leslie speaker cabinet came from switching from a low rotating speed of the horn and drum up to a fast one. And there was, of course, a ramp up or ramp down as you switched between these two speeds because the drum and the horns had to physically speed up or slow down. With Fractal Power, we have the ability to dial in with absolute precision the high and low time constants, or the speeds at which the digital drum and horn either ramp up or ramp down. So instead of a binary high speed, low speed, we instead have the beautiful and dynamic ramp up and ramp down. One of my favorite music adages is that the limitations or the artifacts of any given technology or medium, given enough time, eventually become what's most desirable about it. So think pops and crackles on vinyl that once people tried to get rid of and now people use as an effect on modern music. Or the artifacts that came from early auto-tune and people were trying to hide it, and now, of course, many artists have put the limitations of the auto-tune technology to great effect. With the Leslie speaker, it didn't have the ability to instantly switch between slow and fast, and now what we find most desirable about it is the ramp up and ramp down, that really beautiful, natural, and dynamic speed adjustment that happens over time. So let's take that, quote, limitation or shortcoming of the original rotary technology and apply it to some other effects for a more dynamic sound. One of my favorite effects is Tremolo. So I've set up a Tremolo here on this tone. And you can see right now I have it set to a rate of 1.3 Hertz, which is pretty slow. I've also, though, attached this rate to external 1, which I have set to the pedal 1 jack of my FM9. So I've set the minimum to be 1.3 Hertz and the maximum to be 10 Hertz. So if I have the pedal at the bottom here, it's slow. If I put it up, it's quite fast. And I can change the speed to be anywhere within those two values with my foot. But when I change these values, it's pretty much instantaneous. So I go from 1.3 to 10 as quickly as I can move my foot. And if I want to have a more natural kind of ramp up, I need to do it manually with my foot over time here. So we can recreate, though, the spin up and spin down feel that we get from the Leslie by just inserting some damping. So I'm going to go ahead and add a half a second on the attack and a half a second on the release. So a half a second of damping when I go up, and then a half a second when I go all the way down. So if I put the pedal up instantly, it takes half a second to get to the top. Now the damping here is set to exponential, so it's much slower as it reaches the endpoints, but I could set it to linear, and the behavior is more linear. I like the exponential behavior because it gives it a little more natural feel. So now all the way at the bottom, moving all the way to the top, I get that ramp up that's much more akin to the Leslie. And I could even go ahead and increase this to be a full second to make the effect even more pronounced. This to me is so much more natural. Of course, you can't select a value as quickly, but with a pedal, which is not really that precise of an instrument anyway, I never really am going for very precise values. I want to move through a range of values in a natural and organic way, especially when you're moving between two extremes, like 1 hertz, for example, all the way up to 10, or let's say even 20. Having that damping, at least to me, is much more musical when you're moving through those values live. I've also got a phaser here, and I've gone ahead and connected its rate to the pedal as well. So I have a minimum of 1 hertz and a maximum of 10 hertz. I was using that on the lead tone in the intro, so let's turn on a little bit of drive. But again, here, with these values moving instantaneously, or almost instantaneously, 10 milliseconds between each change, it really is pretty abrupt going from 1 hertz to 10. We can again introduce a little bit more of that Leslie feel by adding some damping. And I really like using this with a vibrato type sound like I've got here with the classic vibe, because you get a really musical feel to the effect. You're in a sense putting some smear into your value changes here. And again, to me, this just keeps things a lot more natural, a lot more musical, and a lot more dynamic. Experiment with these damping times and see what feels right for your playing and for your favorite effects. I first put this into use live with James Valentine's rig for Maroon 5. We put in a classic vibe on a pedal, and James can bring it in at a slow rate and then ramp it up for an effect at the end of solos or with big chords. And this damping just helps to keep things more musical. Of course, here I've just applied this method to 2 different effects, but I hope this video has given you guys some ideas for your own sounds and your own music. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to G66's channel, and leave me a comment in the comment section below this video, letting me know what you would like to see on a future Fractal Friday. And as always, if you guys want to get the absolute most out of your Fractal audio unit, whether that's the Axe 3, the FM9, or the FM3, make sure to visit classes.coopercarter.com for my complete Fractal Audio Masterclass series. For all things Fractal Audio, keep it right here on G66, and I will see you guys next week on Fractal Friday.